Hey friends, I'm JoMo, and today we're going to be playing Stardew Valley. Come join me. Whoa. Good morning, everyone. Let's check out Living Off the Land and see if there's something we can learn today before we start our day. Get your hands on a fishing pole and sell your catch. Fishing is a great way to make a little extra cash when you have some downtime. Wow! We'll be able to catch all kinds of different fish throughout each season and depending on where we fish to begin with. But we're not beginners to fishing. We've already been doing tons of fishing in Stardew Valley. I wonder if you've done any fishing in real life. You can let me know in the comment section on my website. But for now, it's time to water all of our crops so we can get started with the rest of our day. We have to water our crops a little bit every day, especially when the sun is out, so the soil is nice and moist and all of our crops can suck up all the nutrients and minerals from the soil. We recently had our first strawberry harvest in Stardew Valley, which was really rewarding because we bought our strawberry seeds from Pierre, and it took them about 8 days to grow and start producing strawberries. It was so nice to sell all those strawberries to Pelican Town so that everyone can enjoy them. Have you ever grown strawberries before? It's gonna be a pretty relaxing day today in Stardew Valley. We even have a garden tour planned. I'm gonna show you all the things that we've been harvesting in our own garden in real life in the backyard pretty soon. Every single week, we've been doing all kinds of harvesting, like tomatoes, cucumber, and beans, and so much more. The other thing we're gonna be doing today is tapping some maple trees so we can harvest maple syrup. Do you know what maple syrup is? Maple syrup is a really sweet syrup, and over 70% of the world's maple syrup comes from Canada. It's made by tapping maple trees. What I mean by tapping is creating little tiny holes in the tree to harvest maple water. And when the maple water goes to a boiler, we have to boil down the maple water. And then eventually we have maple syrup. Have you ever had maple syrup before? It's really delicious and sweet. When I was a kid, we used to make maple snow, which basically, when it snows outside, you take a bit of snow and pour a bit of maple syrup on it, and you have delicious snowy maple syrup. Hey Linus, how's it going? The crisp air of the wilderness is all I care for. I live out here by choice. I love that Linus likes to live out in the forest. While we mine, let's head out into the garden. Go. Here we are, pulling out one of our first carrots.
And like wiggle and pull up.
What?
What a cute, funny carrot!
Oh, bro, that's so funny. Looks like we didn't wait long enough in order to harvest that carrot, because usually carrots are supposed to be a little longer, but that was pretty funny. Look at this kale. It's gigantic. And our tomatillo plants are producing so many tomatillos. Do you know what a tomatillo is? They look like this when they're ripe, and they're really good to use for things like salsa. And beside these tomato plants, we're growing leek. And speaking of tomatoes, we've been harvesting tons and tons of tomatoes almost every week now. At this point, we've already harvested hundreds of tomatoes, and we've made sun-dried tomatoes, we've made tomato sauce, and even spaghetti sauce. We also have sunflowers. I can't believe how large they've grown. They even have grown bigger than me. And I'm excited to harvest the sunflower seeds and maybe roast them a bit in salt. And we've got all kinds of beautiful pollinator plants everywhere. Sunflowers are pollinator plants as well. Basically, anything that grows flowers so that the bees can gather nectar from them. We even have these little mini eggplants here, which I'm excited to harvest and cook later. These are called ground cherries, and they're everywhere. Talia planted all kinds of ground cherries, and they're so delicious. And over here we have ginger and yams. I can't wait to do a video harvesting these yams. because I think we're gonna have so many. Our garden has been so successful this year, partly because of our worms. Throughout the season, our worms have been creating beautiful, fresh worm castings that we put into the soil. And the plants take all the nutrients from the worms and grow really big and really tall. I love this fireweed over here as well. We can't eat it, but if we wanted to, we could make tea out of it as well. Here we are harvesting some cucumbers after we've already picked some tomatoes and some more carrots. And look how big those cucumbers are. They're the size of my hand almost. And we found a friend as well.
Cool.
This beautiful grasshopper just hopped onto Talia's hand, and it also pooed on her thumb, which was pretty funny. Thanks so much for coming to check out the garden with us. I wonder, have you been growing anything this season? If so, I'd really love to hear about it. Maybe one day you can send me videos of your garden as well. Let's head back down to Pelican Town, and I want to go to the beach to actually do a bit of fishing, just like we learned about on Living Off the Land today. I'm sure there'll be lots of people to say hi to on the way down to the beach. Let's go together. Hey, Abigail. Oh, hey, taking a break from work? Yeah, you bet. Hey, Sam. Hey, Farmer. See you later, Sam. Oh, there's Pam and Granny. Let's go say hi to Granny and George as well. Hey, Granny. Oh my, what a lovely day. Hey, George, how's it going? I'm not much of a talker, especially not to strangers, if you don't mind me saying. That's okay, George. We'll come back and bring George some leek later, because we know he loves that. Hey, Penny. Hi. Hey, Maru. Whenever I'm struggling with a technical problem, I always take a walk. It's surprising how much a change of scenery can help. That's really good advice from Maru. Whenever you feel like you're stuck on something, a walk can really help. I'm kind of new to this town myself, but I really feel at home. I moved here only a year before you. Wow! So Elliot is also new to Pelican Town, just like us. That makes me feel better, because someone else is also experiencing something similar to us. I wanted to come out to this part of the beach, across the bridge, so that we could fish off this big, long pier. Isn't that cool? Let's see if we can catch anything. And why don't you count how many fish we catch? Let's do it together.
Oh, what? That's not a fish. That's just a piece of trash.
We caught an anchovy. And then a herring, too. We don't have too much more energy to fish, though. We might only have the energy to catch one more fish. Another anchovy. That's 3 fish total. Nice work. Let's head back up around to our farm because it's getting pretty late. Oh hey, there's Shane. Let's go say hi. Hey Shane, how's it going? Up late, huh? A little bit. We were spending a while fishing down by the beach. Nice to see you here, though. Here, have a cold one. Oh, that's nice of Shane. Shane is sharing one of his drinks with us. That's really nice of him. Ugh, life. Shane sounds a little sad about something. I wonder what's going on. You ever feel like no matter what you do, you're gonna fail? Whoa. I've actually felt like that before. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're stuck in some miserable abyss and you're so deep you can't even see the light of day, says Shane. Oh no. It sounds like Shane is really sad about something, and maybe he could be feeling a little depressed. I just feel like no matter how hard I try, I'm not strong enough to climb out of that hole. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Shane. Is there anything we can do to help? Depression is when someone feels sad for a really long time and is having a hard time feeling happy again. It's really important to give people space to express themselves and to ask if there's anything you can do when someone feels sad. Well, I better get to bed. See you around, JoMo, says Shane. Bye, Shane. That was really nice of Shane to open up to us.
Hey, JoMo. I just heard you talking to Shane. It sounded like he was feeling sad.
Oh, hey, Ashcon. Yeah, it did seem like that, and I'm glad he felt comfortable enough to talk to us about it.
Is he okay?
I'm not sure. It sounded like he feels a little overwhelmed and he's afraid of failing and doing something wrong.
What do you mean, overwhelmed?
Well, feeling overwhelmed can mean a lot of things. Sometimes feeling overwhelmed can mean feeling really shy about something, or afraid to do something, or being worried that you might just be bad at something.
Oh, yeah. I understand. That makes sense. I've definitely felt that way before.
Yeah, me too. Even grown-ups can feel overwhelmed and sad sometimes, but it's really important to talk to someone you trust when you feel that way. It's okay to be sad, but sometimes talking to someone about your feelings is the best way to feel good again.
That's true. In the secret woods, we're all really open with each other about our feelings. We always talk to each other about when we're happy, sad, and even when we feel grateful about something, like all the food that grows for us to eat.
And sometimes practicing gratitude and thinking about all the great things happening in your life is a good thing to do when you feel sad. It's really healthy and important to focus on all the positive things in your life when you feel down.
I didn't know you were good enough friends with Shane to talk to him about that stuff.
Well, Shane has been kind of rude to us in the past, but it seems like maybe that's just because he's feeling sad lately. We've always wanted to be friends with Shane, so it was really nice talking to him about his feelings.
Whoa. That's really nice, JoMo. Sometimes all it takes to make friends is just to be nice and understanding.
That's right, Ashcon. In fact, when someone is being rude, angry, or mean, it usually means that something sad might be going on in their life, and they just have no one to talk to about it. Sometimes the best thing to do when someone is being rude or mean toward you is to shower them with kindness and love. That's why we got Shane a birthday present the other day, because everyone deserves to be loved and treated with respect.
Wow, JoMo. I think you're the nicest human I've ever met. You're right. Everyone deserves to be treated equally with love, kindness, and respect, no matter how rude they seem. And it's important to understand that if people seem angry or sad, they're probably going through a really hard time in their lives. And having that understanding is a great way to practice empathy.
That's right, Ashcon. I'm always amazed at how much you know. And I love when you teach us things as well. You're so smart.
There's a lot we know about in the secret woods. I can't wait for you to come and visit.
Me too, Ashcon. But it's actually time for us to go to bed. So we'll see you tomorrow, maybe.
Sounds good, JoMo. I really enjoyed talking with you. And see you tomorrow.
Bye, Ashcon. Wow, that's so nice to talk to Ashcon before bed. Thanks so much for joining me for another day in Stardew Valley. I really appreciate you spending time with us, and I'm so glad you were with us when we talked to Shane. Have you or someone you know ever felt sad for a long time and maybe experienced a bit of depression? If so, sometimes the best way to feel good again is to talk to someone you trust about your feelings. I'll see you next time on the next episode of JoMo Kids.